Perseverance is not a long race. It's many short races, one after the other. Walter Elliot. Let's jump into these charts. Doing this a little bit early on the day before the holiday. Just so everybody knows, tomorrow markets are closed. They'll be open again on Friday. But again, for folks in the United States, if you're following the U.S. markets, it's the 4th of July, Independence Day celebration, and the markets will not be open. So let's jump into these charts. We see everything is up except Bitcoin. And I'm going to ask your help. I want some feedback from you guys. Whether I should stay in my Bitcoin trade. As you guys know, I am in an inverse in Bitcoin. We were in the green. I sold half my position at a gain of 6.92%. I let the other half of it ride. It went up higher, then it went down, then it went way down. It was getting toward the break-even point where I would have lost that nice almost 7% profit. Now it's back up, and it is actually back at the 7% again. Should I stay or should I go? I would like to know what you think on your analysis. Now, you don't have to go to BITI and analyze it. You can, of course, analyze HODL. We'll talk about that when we get to it, but I would like feedback. Go ahead. You can feel free to email me, cw@chartingwealth.com. Put it in the YouTube comments, however you would like to. Now let's jump into the S&P 500 up 0.53% for the day. As we look at where we are, the high this week is 551.83. Last week, 550.28. Week before, 548. So again, this is a market just won't stop. We had talked about how things had stalled, but that stalling's over on this new 2-day candle, on the weekly candle, and of course on the half day. Started moving up on Tuesday with a green up candle in the afternoon and popping up higher on the morning on Wednesday, in the morning on Wednesday, and even higher on Wednesday afternoon. Now, the even better news is we are not in an S&P trade. It didn't turn over the way that we liked, but we did like, because we had volume on the interim low, higher than average volume, and we had a green spinning top with average volume to take off. And of course, this was the trade that we were in, the trade that just keeps giving. It was up 0.8. It's up 0.83% right now, as markets are still open, and it's just beautiful. Now, we don't have a lot of volume to go along with it yet, although, hell, we're Wednesday and we're still not halfway there even. Well, anyway, and you can see the lackadaisical volume here on the 2-day chart. So again, things are moving up. We've stayed long, we're still long, and we're reaching a higher high. The high so far this week, 491.17, last week 487.20, the week before that 486.09. So again, just moving up beautifully. When will this market crash? Well, it's a-coming. It's always coming, isn't it? They always had it coming. Well, we shall see. Everything that goes up does come down, and this one's going to come down spectacularly, but until it does, we're going to trade it and cash in on these practice trades. So we're still long. Although you can see now, we can redraw this trend line now. See, we're not getting, well, no, not really. I mean, we can't really get 3 candles. But anyway, we can make it look better by updating a little closer. We can make it flatter by updating it even closer. Again, hard to find a trend line right now, but we are above whatever trend line we might draw as far as price, maybe not this week's candle. Now, let's move from stocks, which we are long on, to bonds. We are not short on bonds, although bonds are down for the week. They are up for the day 1.19%. You can see where things popped up in the morning, about the same in the afternoon. Look at all that volume in the morning on the half-day chart. 2-day chart higher than average volume last time. And again, you know, we got red volume here, but we've just got a candle that's sort of hanging out in the middle of the prior one on this 2-day chart. We're not in this trade. We're waiting for some volume to give us some kind of idea as to what we might want to do. We're not going to be trading off a green spinning top where we don't have any volume before it to help us make any decision as to what to do. We're just waiting for 20-year bonds to figure themselves out. And when they do, we will trade it. And of course, we had a great trade up a while back. I've explained that to you, showed it to you many times. Let's look at what's up with gold. Gold is up for the day 1.13%. Now again, gold's been meandering down for 3 weeks, sideways for 2 weeks, trying to move up some this week. Look at the 2-day. Again, don't have a lot of volume there. Might get up to average by Friday. But again, look at the weekly volume, not much there. Lots of volume in the morning as gold popped up, and not a lot of volume here in the afternoon. So we'll sort of see what's going on again. We're not in a trade on gold because it's not telling us anything. Volume's not. And volume has to match what's going on with the candles, or we have to understand what the volume is telling us. And what it's telling us right now is not a lot. That there's not a lot going behind this movement. We want to see people piling in, or we want to see long wicks trying to reach up to something and there not being anything going on. And we don't have any of that. So nothing exciting, no trade there. Let's move on to HODL. Now, this is the Bitcoin ETF, and what do we see going on with that? And that just made me think, by the way, Patreon members, I've already uploaded for you. Did it yesterday, even on vacation in Rome. I recorded your 3-wave trades and your charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies and uploaded them at the Patreon page for our Patreon supporters last night. So it's been there for a while. Check that out. I'll be uploading charting cryptos, commodities, and currencies for everybody on Friday. But as we look at what's going on with Bitcoin, we can see that we're not hitting the low of last week this week. We are below that weekly trend line. We can see it on the 2-day also. We can see where the peak was, the peak, or the trough, I guess would be the correct term, the low. That was on the Friday, Monday, 2-day candle. And that was the 21st, and then I guess the 24th. And what we see is, again, things really moving down with high volume. Since then, it's not hit that low. We did see things pop up on Monday, and then since then, rolling over. Now, what I had asked you guys is, as you start analyzing this, do you think it's going to keep going down? If we had reached the low already, I'd feel better about that. If we had some volume to help us see what was going on, I'd feel better about that. The fact that we had this high volume here and this little interim high where things popped up and then it crashed and rolled over, it'd be great if we had a lot of volume to support that, but we don't. And of course, as we look at what's going on the half-day chart, 195-minute chart, again, we don't have any volume helping us out a lot. We had a lot of volume popping up, and then it just sort of died, which may just show to us that just people are just capitulating, but they're not capitulating to the point that they're selling lots. We don't have lots of volume there. So I'd appreciate what your thoughts are. Should I stay or should I go? I've already made, and I'm right here at the same point, I've already made almost 7% on this trade. I made it in just a few days after jumping in. You can see when I jumped in. It was back on Friday in the afternoon. It's typical time we jump into trades using the weekly chart, weekly vertical crossovers to jump in. I jumped in then, rode it up, and sold half the position. Then things moved down. Then they really moved down. Well, they moved down and up and then really moved down, and they've moved back up again. Should I stay? Should I just go ahead and take 7% and walk away? Or should I see if I could get more? What do you think? Let me hear from you. That's where we are, folks. God bless my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters and fellow Americans. Happy Independence Day. God bless.